How well do you know Magic the Gathering? Perhaps not quite as well as you might think. Here are 10 facts about the 30-plus-year-old collectible card game that you might not be aware of.
While a distinct and unique Planeswalker character from Magic's Kamigawa plane, the Wanderer does not have a card subtype, and due to the fact that the name of Kamigawa's Emperor is not allowed to be known by anyone per the plane's customs, her cards lacking a subtype is bound to stay that way. The card Floral Spasm from Legends was originally called Rat King in playtesting, and had the ability, if not blocked, Rat may chomp and destroy an artifact, no damage to opponent. While the name was obviously changed between playtest and print, its ability remained largely the same, and is worded in a way that implies the decision of whether or not to destroy an artifact is entirely up to the card itself rather than its controller. Yeah, that might take a while. Sticking with cards from Legends, did you know that there were originally at least 8 legendary creatures in the set that had real-world names? According to a 2002 article on the Magic the Gathering website, those were Hiawatha, Gilgamesh, Beowulf, Lancelot, Circe, Achilles, Jason, and Nebuchadnezzar, with all of those, save for the last one, being renamed or cut by the time the set went to print. Did you know that the largest single set in Magic the Gathering is the Mystery Booster Supplemental Set with 1,936 cards? Outside of that, the largest core set in the game's history is 5th edition with 429 cards. The largest normal expansion is Time Spiral with 422 cards if you include the time-shifted bonus sheet, and the set with the most new, that is non-reprint cards, is still, after all of these years, Ice Age from 1995, with 346 of its 383 cards being original to the set. Did you know that the longest card name in the game, well, in English anyway, is Okina, Temple to the Grandfathers, from Champions of Kamigawa? It's 33 characters long, and while that might be a bit lengthy, it pales in comparison to a card from Unhinged that boasts a name that is a whopping 141 characters long. That card? It's called Our Market Research Shows That Players Really Like Long Card Names, so we made this card to have the absolute longest card name ever, Elemental. Did you know that Magic the Gathering did not have a tournament-legal 5-color card until the release of the card Sliver Queen in Stronghold in 1998? And while a tournament-legal reprint of the card is highly unlikely thanks to it being on Magic's reserved list, it did technically see a reprint by means of an oversized foil card in the Commander's Arsenal box set in 2012. The Queen also got a variant of sorts in the card Sliver Queen Broodmother for 1998's Vanguard Series 3. Take a look at the card Teysa, Opulent Oligarch, from Murders at Karlov Manor. More specifically, look at the artwork. No, I mean the artwork within the artwork. If you look in the background of the image, you will notice 2 pieces of framed artwork hanging on the walls behind Teysa. If you look close enough, you just might recognize a portrait on the top left to be the artwork for the card Liliana, Death's Majesty. As for the one on the bottom right, it's the artwork for Scion of Opulence. Both pieces, as well as the art for Teysa, Opulent Oligarch, were all done by Chris Rallis. Who knew Teysa was a collector of Magic the Gathering art? And staying on the topic of Magic characters making a reprise in card art, if you look at the art of the Unfinity card, Gallery of Legends, you may recognize the 3 characters being depicted: Mikaeus, the Unhallowed, Phage, the Untouchable, and Pelakronos, Unchained. And if you're paying attention, you might notice that all 3 characters have Un in their names, which makes them perfect inclusions for this Un set. The Theros cards, Titan of Eternal Fire and Chained to the Rocks, both refer to the story of Prometheus, a Titan who gave the gift of fire to the humans and was afterwards punished for it by being chained to a rock face for all eternity, with a bird eating his liver out of his body every day. Eesh, and you thought being grounded for the weekend was bad. When Magic's first expansion, Arabian Nights, came out in December of 1993, Wizards of the Coast did not have a way at the time of including more than one number in a casting cost pip. So, for the card Aladdin's Lamp, which has a casting cost of a whopping 10 mana, they had to print the card with a casting cost of 5/5, essentially splitting the cost of 10 into two halves. Beginning with its first reprint and revised, and ever since, Wizards of the Coast figured things out, and the card has been a perfect 10 ever since. Well, in its casting cost, that is. The card itself is kinda mid.
And there you go, 10 more facts about Magic the Gathering that you might not have known before. If you like this video, please hit that like and subscribe button, and we have a tip jar on Patreon if you would like to support the channel that way. Thank you very much for watching.